Hey, this NBA season didn't take long to get interesting, but say hello to Shaquille O'Neal and Kak. Utah Jazz. And for Utah, they've been on top of their game from the opening tip of the new season, getting more confident as a unit. Big shape. Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to put up a great fight against the Warriors last year in the finals, even while shorthanded. Kenny...
We've got NBA back in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. It's the home of the Cavs, live on 2K Sports. The Cleveland Cavaliers coming to this one after a win against the Indiana Pacers. And they put it all together in that game. It added up to a phenomenal win.
And what got them that win was the remarkable success they had from the floor. I mean, just a tremendous shooting performance all the way around.
Hey, you can't expect that kind of shooting to happen all the time on a nightly basis. But when it does, boy, does it feel good and look good.
Now, here's Burks. The rebound by Kevin Love. Well, last season would be one where Kevin Love played a different role, so his numbers declined. But that was, I think, especially with LeBron and Kyrie, much better players than he ever had in Minnesota. That was to be expected.
It's a great point, Gavin. And Love dropped about 10 points per game in terms of his output. The field goal percentage as well as three-point percentage was down. But still, he traded it all to be on a winning team. And I really feel like his numbers will start to go up as he makes the adjustment to playing with great players.
Good point. And checking out Utah's opening lineup, the forwards are Hayward and Favors. Pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. And it's Gobert in at the center. And so it's the Cavaliers getting on the board first. James. And they're going to count the bucket and send.
And, you know, for Love last season, we knew he'd be in a supporting role to LeBron. You put any player next to LeBron, and he automatically becomes some kind of role player.
And thinking back to Love and his numbers last year, we saw the same thing from Bosh when he played with LeBron. Love and Bosh had similar reductions in scoring, but both were still great players, and they both have the ability to adapt and impact the game in other ways. That's 3 straight shots to fall here to start. Looking good.
Poke loose. They double him with LeBron. Out of bounds, Cleveland takes possession. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, Kev, Quinn Snyder gave me a few moments to catch up with him. He said that the key to the game will be how well they defend Kyrie Irving, adding he's shown himself to be one of the premier point guards in the game already. Whether it's passing, shooting, or penetrating, we need our guys in the backcourt to really get up into him, and our bigs need to be ready to bring help. Guys, you can bet that Irving will be their focus defensively.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. From deep LeBron. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
5 buckets without a miss. That's a fantastic start.
Now, here's Burke. He's covered by Irving. Out of bounds, Cleveland takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
And here are the Cavaliers. 11 unanswered points for them.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
Count the bucket. And a first time out of the game called for Utah. This game against Cleveland is the first time they've met this season.
And the East-West showdown, only one of 2 games between these squads.
And because of that, the time is now to seize control of the matchup. We'll see who strikes first.
Hayward can hit.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Shumpert up top. Burke's covering. Love outside. Puts up a 3. And James with the basket on the assist by Love. And that's now 17 points for LeBron. They've been looking out of sorts in the last few possessions.
And this is when you need to be patient. Find a high percentage shot and have some floor balance.
Now here's Favors. Mozgov grabs the board. Irving with the ball. A 23-point game for him in the win against Indiana. Hayward against James. From deep three-point range, Utah with the rebound. Want to keep rolling here.
I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
Burke can't get it to go. The Cavaliers leading by 17. Pushing it up. James with the bucket. LeBron's got 19 points.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
It's been a complete technical dominant performance out here. They are in a zone.
Utah calls timeout.
And for Kevin Love, such a big part of that Minnesota Timberwolves franchise. I mean, they drafted him 5th overall back in the league. And really, he had been their catalyst his entire career. Even last year when he decided he finally wanted out, he helped the Wolves land Andrew Wiggins in the trade that shook the league.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Cavaliers.
Looking here at some numbers for Smith. Last season's performance for him, he was around 12 points per game last year, 2 assists and 3 rebounds. And the numbers won't wow you, but I like the effort he brings to the table each and every night.
Yeah, great hustle, does all the little things. Just a good complimentary guy to have on your team.
Now here is Smith, who's coming off a 13-point game against Indiana. Williams gets the bucket. Kevin Love, and we've kind of gone over some things in Minnesota with Greg, but Clark, Kevin Love probably wasn't long for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, it was time for fresh scenery, and that's why the Cavs offered up the house, including Wiggins, who eventually became Rookie of the Year, for the chance to get Love.
Cleveland leading by 22. Here's Smith. 1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
They're really struggling defensively, giving up too many easy buckets.
A great point. Really an embarrassing performance defensively, and the coaching staff can't be happy.
Now here's Burke. He's coming off a 16-point game against Memphis.
And also give him credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man.
Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Cleveland. The Jazz also changing it up. Trevor Booker comes in for Rudy Gobert, and it's Dante Exum in for Burke. Unable to get the ball in bounds, they get called for the 5-second violation. Out of bounds, Cleveland takes possession. And let's go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that blocked the most shots in the NBA last year. In third, the Jazz.
I don't think you can ever underestimate the effect that a few blocked shots can have on your opponent. I mean, it can get into your head as an offensive player. You're going in there thinking you've got a clear path, and then you see the ball going behind you in reverse. I mean, that could be major intimidation and affect your game.
Williams, that's good.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Cavaliers.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Here's Dellavedova. He had 13 points in the win against Indiana.
And he also looked to attack at the defensive end of the floor. 3 steals in that game. You couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
I think the offensive game plan they came in with was right on point. It's worked perfectly, and the lead they already have is proof in the pudding.
He was all alone on that one.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket, for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
Here's Exum. J.R. Smith making his last shot. Favors passes to Booker. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. Cleveland's gone 4 of 5 from three-point land to get things going here in the first. Williams outside, and another 3 for Cleveland.
And really setting the tone.
Greg, that's already 5 made triples in the first quarter. What a start.
And the Jazz making a change here. Here's LeBron. Against Indiana, he was really on his game.
And as they continue to just dominate this game, you have to wonder how much can they win by.
Well, it's on the verge of getting out of hand, Greg. You can feel it, you can see it, in part because the defense has been about as good as the offense, and both have been really good.
And that's it for the first quarter in what's been a very lopsided game. Cleveland ahead, running away with it. The second quarter coming up right after this. And of course, as we've always seen with LeBron James, it's not just about the
home screen. NBA 2K16. TV and video. And bits of